Hey guys, here's my just basic pull list from Wednesday. Was glad to be able to get in the shop. I got kind of bad asthma right now, so I decided not to turn the camera on myself as I make faces as I try to breathe or if I cough. This is, at last, Penny Dora and the Wishing Box, issue number 5. It feels like it took about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 months for this last issue to come out. My daughter has been waiting and waiting and waiting for it, and this is the end of an arc, possibly the end of Penny Dora. They say on the inside that they will continue it if the trade sells well, and then they urge you to tell all your friends and order it for your library and stuff. But it was very good. My daughter and I have already today reread all 5 issues, and they do make a great story, pretty unique sort of take on the Pandora type of story. So I do recommend it to people with children, girls of course, and boys who don't mind female protagonists. It's not like the subject matter is not particularly aimed at one sex or the other. It's just that the hero and villain are girls. So yeah, very satisfying. I do hope they do another arc or two. We'll see if that works out. And I got Invisible Republic, number 4. Looking forward to this. A little bit overdosed on science fiction, but I really like the art. And I am a huge science fiction fan, so it's kind of weird to say I'm a bit overdosed on science fiction. Speaking of which, there's lots more science fiction in my pile here. Oh boy, okay. Misplaced something. But anyway, there's Annihilator, which is kind of science fiction, or metafiction about science fiction and other things. And I know I have... hang on a second. Just keep looking at Annihilator for a second. While I'm talking about science fiction, I left out of my little pile Southern Cross, which takes place on a spaceship heading towards a moon of Saturn or Jupiter, I can't remember. But I've really been enjoying this. I know a lot of people haven't, and I understand why they don't, but I'm psyched for each new issue. I just enjoy the ride that is this series. And then also in my indies is The Fade Out, which is another favorite. An interesting mix of sort of a slow burn story and a lot of Hollywood cliches at the same time, if that makes sense. But I really enjoy the mix, and I enjoy the writing and the art, and so yeah, this is one of my favorite books. Number 7 already, wow. Okay, and then I've got 3 DC books. I picked up Grayson. I was probably going to pick up We Are Robin also, but then I saw the price tag of $3.99. My fingers are dirty. I've been weeding out in the garden. So I decided not to get We Are Robin, and I probably will switch to trade rating on Grayson. It was on my pull list, so I feel like I'd kind of promised my store to buy it. It's kind of an interesting issue when the prices of books change and you've committed to buying them without knowing what you're going to pay. Grayson is really good, but I am trying as much as possible, especially with Marvel and DC, if it's $3.99, wait for trade. A rule which I'm breaking on Batman and maybe going to break on Robin SOB, but and it's tempting to break it on Grayson too, but I've got to start drawing the line. Okay. Still at a good price. Justice League 3001 instead of Justice League 3000. Exactly the same creative team. So it's just a false renumbering, but by changing the title to 3001, which is totally fine by me because this is one of my favorite DC comics of the past year. So I'm glad it's continuing. And then another one that I thought I'd just give it a shot. Green Lantern Lost Army. And there's 2 reasons why I'm giving this a shot. One is Jesus Saez is the artist, and the other is I read the the free digital sneak peek, the 8-page story that they already put out. I wonder how, since they don't reprint the sneak peeks in here, I wonder how they're going to get us up to speed at the beginning of this, because that sneak peek really set up what the whole series is going to be about, with a sort of a troop of Green Lanterns lost in space, basically. Kind of like Star Trek Voyager or something, off in some unknown sector, unable to communicate with Oa or the main Green Lantern, central Green Lantern stuff and everything. So they're just cut off. But the art by Sayers was beautiful in that sneak peek, and the script by Colin Bunn seemed pretty strong. I'm not usually a big Green Lantern fan, although I have enjoyed some Red Lanterns in the past, especially when they were written by Charles Soule. Colin Bunn seems like a great writer on his indie work. On the big two, I feel like he's kind of spotty, but we'll see. I'll give this a chance. And that price, $2.99, helps me try things out. And here's how I get a few of my Marvel books through mail subscription. Here's Thor's #1. Did Thor's #2 just come out? So I get these 2 or 3 weeks late. Unlike other people, my mail subscription copies seem to be in very good condition. So I've had no problem with that. And since I've renewed Thor, I get it for $2 an issue. And I'm quite happy that my Thor subscription gives me Thors, because I was figuring I was going to miss out on that. I didn't want to pay $4.99 for it, or $3.99 for it, but I definitely wanted to get it. Because I'm, on top of being a fan of Jason Aaron's Marvel work, I'm a big fan of, is it Chris Sprouse? Yeah, Chris Sprouse, who I know from, I think from Tom Strong. Anyway, so I'm psyched to see Chris Sprouse draw Thor. That seems like a very interesting combination to me. The color looks like it's obscuring some of Sprouse's line work. But anyway, so I was really happy to get that in the mail, and I look forward to reading that along with my new books. Hope everyone is having a fun comic book week. I definitely need my comic books this week as a break from other things, so I'm looking forward to reading all of this. I hope that I will be able to put up more videos. I tried to post a video last night discussing everything I'd read in the past week, and it didn't load properly. It's kind of a partial video, which I can't seem to make public, but I can seem to give to people in links. So I will put the link down below, and if you're curious, it wasn't like my greatest video or anything. It's no great loss. But at least you get, if you're curious, you get to hear my thoughts on some of the books I read this past week. Yeah. So anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.